Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be making a mythic charm tier list because at the next reset we're going to be getting mythic charms on the global server, and this is an important topic. We're going to be emphasizing Dream Realm heroes because those are the charms you want to get first, usually to get a higher score for Dream Realm, and then also we'll focus AFK stage, Primal Lord. But the good thing about Primal Lord is the heroes for Primal Lord are also the key heroes for Dream Realm. And then finally we will, like, the PvP heroes I will be ranking lower because the PvP charms, they're kind of a luxury that you go for after your major Dream Realm PvE content heroes are done. So that is what we're going to be focusing on in this video. The other thing is, I know on the Vietnam server they're going to be getting the Mythic Plus charms at reset, and that is a very important topic. I will have to make a completely different video for that, and I'm probably going to make a dedicated video for that when it comes out to global server. But for right now, the key heroes which I think will want the Mythic Plus charm upgrade, I will talk about them briefly as I am ranking them in this tier list. So even if you're on the Vietnam server, hopefully this can also help you out. Okay, we're going to lead it off with Elsa. Elsa is a PvP hero, good for PvP, but that is it. So I'm just going to keep her in the A tier for right now. Antandra is not needed for charms. She's not needed in any game mode, so C tier. Arden is going to be S tier because for AFK stages, he is good, and that is a reason to upgrade the charms of a hero. Okay, Atalanta, C tier because not a really meta hero anywhere. Burial is a PvP hero. We'll put him in the A tier, not a top tier PvP hero even at that. Bonnie. Bonnie is a hero which I will put in the S plus tier because she is good for some Dream Realm, like Plague Creeper for example. On my main account, I'm using her in my top team. Getting her charms is going to boost her damage. Also, AFK stages, Bonnie is used a lot more than Arden, and that is why I think she is belonging to the S plus tier, but right at the end of it, not the overall. For example, like the highest in the S plus tier, probably right at the end of it. Okay, because we're also going to try to position heroes in order of how important they are in the tier. Brutus is just a PvP hero. I'm going to put him in the B tier, not very relevant at all. And his charm upgrade, yeah, his charm upgrade is not that important. Brian is a hero for PvP, and you can use him to take the enemy Lily May interruption. And if you have him ascended, then that can be good. So I'll put him in the A tier. Or actually, no, I'm going to put him in the B tier. I don't think he's as important as, for example, Elsa. He's not like as hard of a hitting damage as Elsa in like a crowd control comp. So you don't need his charms. You can use him without his charms. Callan. Callan is a... If you're using him in PvP, you can prioritize him a bit, but for right now, I'm going to put him at the top of the B tier because I feel like not many people are actually using Callan. Or maybe we'll put him at the end of the A tier. Carolina is for AFK stages if you don't have Bonnie. However, if you have Bonnie, Bonnie is used far more frequently compared to Carolina, but Carolina does see some use. So we will put in the S tier for AFK stages. Cassidy is not used anywhere right now. There's no reason to get her charms, so we'll put her in the C tier. Cecia as well, not really any reason to get her charms, we'll put her in the C tier. Cryanaya is a PvP hero, very limited AFK stage use, very limited Dream Realm use, so I don't really consider her charms a priority. However, we could potentially put her at the end of the S tier because of the fact that she has some AFK stage use, some Dream Realm use, although it's very, very niche. And in PvP, she is a powerhouse. So I think she's probably belonging to the S tier. Siren is for some AFK stages, and he's good in PvP. So getting his charm upgraded will be a good priority. We can put him in the S tier, but towards the end right here. Damien is a good PvP hero. He's not really used in AFK stages. And for that reason, I can put him at the top of the A tier, but I'm not going to put him above this because... if he's a purely PvP hero, even if he's really good, I think I don't feel like putting him in the S tier. I want to put the more AFK stage or the Dream Realm heroes S tier and above. Diona is a good PvP hero, but yeah, again, it's a luxury for PvP. We'll put him in the A tier ahead of Elsa. Dunlinger is good for PvP, and so again, you can put him in the A tier as a PvP hero, but that is his only role. Iron is actually pretty important. People have found, and he's used in almost every AFK stage. Obviously, no Dream Realm use, but he also has good PvP use. I might even put him in the S plus tier because people said his damage output is high because of just his multipliers, but then also the splash damage from the charm effect. I think honestly, getting Iron Charms are a pretty big priority. I'm not going to put in the S plus tier. I don't think he belongs there, but we'll put him at the top of the S tier. Even more important probably than Arden and Carolina, because he's used in almost every single AFK stage. Elijah and Lila, they are very important, of course. And here's the thing. Now we're going to talk about the Vietnam server. So Elijah and Lila, when they get 4 ultimate power, their haste buff for the allies will go from 60 to 76, which is a huge boost. And honestly, the haste already is so valuable for your team. This boost of haste is going to be even more valuable. I think getting the twin charms to their Mythic Plus level with the ultimate power, that is going to be a priority. But definitely at the very least, buy out their charms from the charm merchant, like when they come on global server. Although there's one thing to mention, is that when you get bonus haste run to your team, it can interfere somewhat with everything. And so they also will provide bonus haste from the quality bonus onto the stellar bond linked allies. So it might interfere with the current top Primal Lord team. And that is the only reason maybe you want to hold off for a day to figure out the testing before getting the charms for Elijah and Lila. But I'm pretty sure that there will be an optimal team comp found out with them. With the mythic charms, so they are going to be a priority, but it does interfere a bit with the comps, especially the Shakir related comps. So we're gonna have to see about that. But I do definitely think in the long run, getting their mythic charms is one of the top priorities. And for Vietnam serve mythic plus charms, ultimate power, I think that is the way to go for them. Faye is not a relevant tier; she can be C tier. Floribel is very niche in PvP, so B tier. Gerda, as of right now, Gerda is not looking good. Like in terms of, she doesn't seem to have any use pretty much anywhere other than maybe Supreme Arena. I don't know what her charm effect is going to be, but we can put her in the B tier, but she's going to be purely a PvP hero as of right now. AFK stage is probably not usable due to the healing of the enemies. Granny, C tier, not usable anywhere. Harak charms are going to be, they are important. And even for global server specifically, the mythic charm upgrade will be important. It is a meaningful quality bonus upgrade that he's going to get, number one. Number two, Harak is still probably going to dominate for some time in the future, up until we get Mythic Plus charms. But when you talk about Vietnam server, Mythic Plus charm upgrade on Harak, that is also nice. It will improve him. However, I think he's going to be phased out, and like Shakir, Ludovic comps are going to be more dominant, and then Harak would be less of a priority, but still he will be an S plus. There's no question about that, even for VN server. Okay, so Sylvina is purely a PvP hero. She has a nice charm bonus this season. And also, she's mainly only on offense. I'll put in the A tier as a pretty good PvP hero. Hodgkin, if you use him in PvP, but that is basically it. Alamis, I like Alamis a lot. I'm going to put in the S tier because for your AFK stages, number one, and he is used in a lot of teams, and number two, for PvP, the converting damage into true damage is powerful for PvP, so we'll put him in the S tier for that. Okay, Haywin is purely a PvP hero. We're going to put her in the A tier along around Damien. She has a nice charm bonus, but she can work even at lower levels of charms. She still has the same effect pretty much. The invincibility. Hugin charms are going to be very important. He is the top option in Thalassa, and he is the top, or well, actually he's not, Rainier is. However, he is like the second best, third best team option, and also in other bosses you can use him as a Rainier replacement. So I definitely think Hugin is belonging to the S plus tier. The question is, it depends on your account, is he more important than Bonnie or not? Because if you have Rainier Mythic Plus built, and you're running the top teams, Hugin is not a part of very many of them, if any. But if you need Hugin and you don't have Rainier Mythic Plus, then Hugin becomes way more important than even Bonnie. So for most people, I'm going to say more important than Bonnie. Okay, Igor is a niche PvP hero. I'm going to put him in the B tier. Yeah, okay. But you can use him in Clash Fronts. We can put him in the A tier. Kafra, I'm not going to recommend Kafra charms. Again, I'm sorry to Vibin. Okay, moving on to Coco. Coco is mainly a PvP hero, so not even much Dream Realm applications. I'm just going to put her in the A tier, and honestly, she's not even that dominant in PvP, because sometimes she can not get her ultimate off before your whole team is dead, so I'm going to put her lower down. Corrin, I don't think anyone uses Corrin anymore, unless you're really limited on options early game. So I'm going to have to put him in the B tier. We can put him at the top of the B tier. Lenya. Lenya Charms. She is good for PvP, but other than PvP, no Dream Realm use, no AFK stage use. So unfortunately, I will have to limit her to the A tier, and I will put her around the Sylvina level. Okay, Kruger. Kruger is going to be... Now, he's used in the Primal Lord Mauler version. If you're using the Hypogean Celestial version, you'll not be using Kruger. Kruger is used in some Dream Realm bosses, and his damage output will be enhanced by getting the charms to give him more attack, basically. However, I don't think it's a major priority. I can't even put him in the S tier. I can put him in the A tier, though. He is an A tier hero, basically. We can put him... Yeah, we can put him around here. Okay, Lily May. Lily May for PvP, definitely. For Dream Realm, very limited. Like, most people will not be running Lily May in any of their top Dream Realm teams anymore, unless you're really limited on options. And so, like, you can't really make her a priority. Now, for the Vietnam server, you're gonna have to do testing and see whether the skill power charm she gets is gonna make her viable for any Dream Realm boss. I find it unlikely, though, because we have a lot of strong endless damage dealers right now. I think Lily May can just not keep up with them, even with her charm bonus. However, for global server is mainly a PvP that you would be using Lily May, so I'm just gonna put her around the Kruger level. I can't even put her into the S tier. Okay, Lorson. Lorson is used in AFK stages, and he is also used in PvP. And so for that reason, I have to put him in the S tier, and he's even more relevant. Honestly, he's even more relevant than, like, Arden in a lot of stages, like in the high level deficit. Lorson, if you have him built, you're going to be using or seeing him a lot. So I'm going to put Lorson in the S tier. And then we have Luca. Luca is going to be... Luca is going to be a hero which will belong in, I guess, end of the B tier, PvP type. One other thing we forgot to talk about Hugin for Vietnam server. So for Vietnam server, Hugin will be important. You'll want to either give him ultimate power or skill power. It depends on, are you mainly using his mechanized bond value, then you want skill power. If you're mainly using him for his ultimate casting to give attack to your allies, then you want ultimate power. But both can be good options. That is basically it. Lucia is not really used anywhere. I'm going to put him in the C tier. And Ludovic. Ludovic is going to be very important. Very, very important. I'm going to put him right here, right after the twins in priority. Even more important than Harak. However, for global server, Ludovic will come probably after Harak, but for VN server, there's no doubt about it. Ludovic will come before Harak, and getting in the skill power will be really important. The insight charms. Even for global server, honestly, Ludovic might even be more important to get charms of compared to Harak, because I think a lot more people have Ludovic built and can run Ludovic oriented damage teams compared to Harak, and Ludovic is doing well already. So when he gets more stats from charms, it's going to be even better. So we'll put him after the twins. Lumont is like a PvP hero. We can put him in the B tier. And then we can have Laika. Laika is a PvP hero for Diurnal buffing comp, so I have to put her in the B tier. There's no other use for her. And then we have Miralee. Miralee is going to be a damage hero. She is using Thalassa. So I'm going to put her around the Kruger level. She's using Thalassa. If you're a bit limited on options, she can be a good damage dealer choice. Even in some of the top teams. Not in the overall top team, of course, but she's not bad. So I have to put her in the A tier. Mikola. Mikola is using a lot of Dream Realm. Getting her charms for VN server, getting the skill power from Mythic Plus charms is going to be very important. So, that is going to be that. But for a global server, getting her just the Mythic charms, I'm going to put at the end of the S tier. Because Mikola's damage is pretty low for Dream Realm, so it's not a major priority to get her charms, but I would probably recommend getting her charms before, like, the Damien Haywin and other heroes we have in the A tier, so I can put at the end of the S tier. But your AFK stage heroes I would probably prioritize before Mikola, but for VN server it's different. You need to get Mikola charms. She becomes an S plus tier for VN server, because getting that skill power for more attack buff for your team is very important. Muriel, not really used much. She's using some Dream Realm bosses, so I can put her like as a backup option, although like I find hardly anyone's actually using her. I'll put it in the A tier for now, or we can put it in the B tier. We'll put it in the B tier. Okay, so now we have Nara. Nara is for AFK stages. Her charms are not needed really for that, but because she has some use, I will put her in the B tier, but I won't even put her in the A tier. Nero for PvP basically is the only reason, and he's used a lot to take the enemy Lily May interruption. But again, if it is purely a PvP hero, I can only put it in the A tier. I'm going to put him around the Lenya level over here. Odie. Odie is pretty important because on my main account, I was looking at my top teams, and 3 of my teams are running Odie. Snowstomper, Thalassa, of course, and I think even Plague Creeper. So Odie is a really good damage dealer option. And especially if you don't have all of the best heroes built up yet, then he's going to be great. And even in Thalassa, he's the overall top. So we have to put him in the S plus tier. I'm going to put him behind Harak in front of Hugin. And for VN server, I don't know exactly what is the best charm bonus for him. It's probably just Gale because attack speed and attack. Most likely that is going to be the way to go. Freesto, we have the king of Dream Realm Endless right now. Freesto, he is going to be definitely S plus here. The question is where to put him. I'm going to put him even in front of the twins. Now, this is mainly for a global server because we're going to get just mythic charms, which are just like basically a stat boost when you equip them to your hero. But for Astro, that is going to be important. Getting him those bonus stats, that is going to basically help him deal more damage in Dream Realm. And that is the other thing to mention, actually. The twins, Elijah and Lila, I think I actually have to put, so if we're doing global server, the twins come after Harak. And maybe even honestly after Odie, because they're going to give more of a haste buff, but that is it from the quality bonus upgrade. And the stats on the twins are not really needed. So, but for the VN server, it's completely different. Most likely getting ultimate power on them is going to be a massive boost to your team to give more haste to your team. So that's kind of the awkward thing. For global server, I don't know. I definitely, I guess, have to put them after Harak and maybe even after Odie. I don't know. I honestly, because... yeah, I might even put them after Odie. I'll put them after Odie for now. Parissa, she is a good damage dealer. She can be used in Thalassa, actually, pretty effectively as a damage dealer for Dream Realm. So definitely I have to put her around here. And she's also good for AFK stages. Oh, do we put it in the S tier? We're going to put it in the S tier. AFK stage use as well as Dream Realm. Rainier, definitely S+, no question about it. His quality bonus is going to give more attack to the position swapped ally, and if you're running Rainier in any of your teams, it will be important to get his charms. I'm going to put him after Odie, around about Odie tier. And for VN server, I don't think he has any major Mythic Plus bonus, so yeah, it's going to be around the same. Reese is not important. I'm going to put him in the C tier, not used pretty much anywhere. Rowan is only a PvP hero. He can be using Cryonia comms, so we can put him in the A tier. A lot of people like running him with Cryonia. Salazar, no, I'm going to put him in the C tier, not needed. Seth is a PvP hero. We'll put him in the A tier just for PvP. If you're using him in PvP, if you're not using him in PvP, do not even worry about him. And that is basically it for the A tier. It's like, if a hero you're not using at all, don't even consider getting the charms a priority. But that's pretty much it for all of the tiers, right? Like, if you're not using the hero, even if it's a high tier, you don't want to, like, even Lorson, for example, if you don't have him built up and you're not using him, then you shouldn't get his charms. But he can work even at lower ascension in some AFK stages. Okay, Scarlita. Scarlita is purely PvP. I'm just going to put around the Dunlinger level. Satrana. Satrana is purely PvP, and she's decent in PvP, but I don't see her use that much in Supreme Arena. So I'm going to put around the... I'm going to put it around this newer level 8 tier. Shakir. Now this is the thing. For Primal Lord, right? Shakir's damage is pretty high because if you're using the Hypogean Celestial comp, converting some of his damage to true damage by the Rainier Charm effect, then Shakir's damage is high, and getting Shakir Charm upgrade are going to be important for getting a higher ranking Primal Lord, because it's going to increase his damage output. And so if you're running the Hypogean Celestial team with Shakir, you want to get his charms upgraded. For the VN server, there's no question about it. Getting that skill power onto Shakir from the Mystic Charms, that is going to be one of your top priorities. That is going to turn like even Ludovic and Shakir into absolute powerhouses in Dream Realm. But for global server, it's just mainly for the Primal Lord comp. For regular Dream Realm, Shakir doesn't deal that much damage. And so getting his charm upgrade, it's just going to increase his own damage, basically. It's not going to buff up your team up until you get the Mythic Plus charms, which we're not getting on global. So I'm going to put him after the Rainier. After the Rainier or after the twins? Yeah, we're going to put him around here. Okay, Smokey. Smokey is going to be very important. His upgrades for global and VN server both, because it's going to get more stats to deal more damage on Endless. For VN server, getting the skill power is going to be important to buff up further. I'm going to put him... honestly, I even want to put him higher than Ludovic because Smokey is used in more teams of Dream Realm. Ludovic has some use, but not in all of the teams, right? So I don't think I can actually put him... I think I need to put him in front of the Ludovic. He deals more damage, and he's using more teams. Ludovic deals more damage, but like across all the teams, if you add up all the damage contributions, Smokey is a more contributor because he's using more teams compared to Ludovic. So I think Smokey Charms is still more important than Ludovic. Sinbad. Sinbad is... actually, he is important, right? He's using some top Dream Realm teams. We have to put him in the S+ tier for that. But the thing is, overall, he's more important. Like, I think I have to put him around the OD tier, actually. Because he's a damage dealer. You want to get his charms upgraded, more important than the other ones. Okay, Taylene. Taylene is not used in any, I think, Plague Creeper, right? Okay, she is used in some top Dream Realm bosses. And yeah, and even I think Thalassic, she can be used in a backup option. We'll put her around. She's not useful. Oh, she is useful for AFK stages as well. In the Hypogean Celestial comp. So I think Taylene charms are going to be pretty important. Now, my Shakir is in a weird position. This is only for Primal Lord because we have a few more days left of Primal Lord. Everyone wants to max out that team. That's why I'm having Shakir higher than Taylene. Otherwise, I would have Taylene higher, probably around like around the twins level, but this is pretty good too. Soren, just a PvP hero if you want to run him, so A tier. Tamesia, not really useful. Not really useful anywhere, honestly. I'll put it in the B tier, but Tamesia just doesn't see use pretty much anywhere. Even in AFK stages, she's been phased out. Tassi is important for AFK stages and PvP, but that is basically it. And then for the VN server getting her ultimate power, that is going to be important, the Blast Charms. So I'm going to put her in front of Aridin. She's definitely, oh, actually, maybe in front of maybe the number 1 in the S tier, because she's using most AFK stages and she deals damage, right? So you want to give her the charm upgrade. So I'm going to put her in the top of the S tier. Thorin is purely a PvP hero. He is good at PvP, don't get me wrong, but that's it. So he'll be in the A tier. Vala we'll put in the A tier. I think I'm going to move some heroes down. That I don't think are that important for PvP. I'm going to move Igor down. I'm going to move Citrana down. I'm going to move Soren down. Yeah, and because I think more people use like Set in PvP, and Igor, he's like a tank. The charm upgrade isn't going to matter as much for him, but I can understand maybe Igor we can keep. Okay, Velka is going to be important. Velka charms, because she is using some Dream Realm, but like not very niche, right? So I'm going to put her around the Merrily tier. For PvP, yeah, she can be fine. So I'll just put her around the A tier. Now in the VN server, I think, I believe her true damage can be increased with her ultimate power, but even then, I don't think she's going to be a great option for Endless, like there are other better Endless damage dealers, so I don't think that Velka will be relevant for a Dream Realm, but I'm going to put her around this tier. In case you're using her in any of your top Dream Realm teams, then you can get her charms, otherwise I would not really recommend it. Viperon I'm going to put in the A tier. He can be a damage dealer for PvP, but that is basically it. Valen will go in the C tier. And we have Sonya. Sonya is going to be very important. She's definitely S plus tier. The question is, where does she go? Like her stats, because she deals decent damage in Dream on bosses. And definitely for the VN server, if you can get the skill power to increase her attack buff to allies, that is a major priority. So I don't know exactly where I want to put her. I think I want to put her around the Rainier tier. No, I'm going to put her after Rainier, because for global server, getting the quality bonus. Oh no, the quality bonus of Sonya is also good. Defense Shred. I think we'll put Sonya in front of Rainier. And for VN server, Sonya will be even higher. Yeah, Sonya will be even higher. Okay, final hero is going to be Walker. Walker we will put in the B tier. Or we can put Lucius in the B tier and Walker in the C tier. Yeah, but B tier, C tier, both of these are basically not really important upgrades for your charms. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for a Mythic Charm priority tier list for the global server. But we also touched a lot upon the VN server. So watch back this video if you're on the VN server. We talk about which are the heroes which are the most important for you to upgrade and which charm, Mythic Plus charm, you should be upgrading. To recap this tier list, basically the heroes in the S plus tier, these should be your top priority, and you should, whatever hero you have built from here, those should be the heroes you're trying to either craft their charms of or be sweeping for their charms. The S tier is also very useful. And these are going to be mainly AFK stage pushing heroes with some Dream Realm use or Dream Realm like Mikola, where the charm upgrade is not really that important, and that is why Mikola is over here. The A tier are very situational, and these are honestly luxury heroes. I would not upgrade the A tier hero charms until you have the S and S plus tier all pretty much finished out of the heroes you have built up. And the B and below tier, I wouldn't like. You just will naturally get them. Don't ever craft them, in my opinion, unless they're a part of your really key PvP comp. And just to talk about the Primal Lord, because we're going to have a few more days left. Whatever heroes are using your Primal Lord team, if you're using Celestial Hypogean team, you want to max out all of their charms. Shakir, Rainier, Freesto, Smokey, and probably even the twins, but watch out for the twins. We're going to have to see if getting their quality bonus is going to interfere with the team comp and mess up the positioning, because then we're going to have to find a more optimal comp before we upgrade that. So watch out for the twins. I don't think I would buy them from the charm merchant immediately. Wait for people to do some testing with and without them before we decide for that. But the other 4 heroes, definitely. If you're running the Mauler comp with the twins, then the heroes in the Mauler comp, which are the most important, definitely Smokey is going to be important to upgrade his charms. Yeah, Sonya charms will also be an important upgrade. But other than that, it really, now for day 1 crafting, I think definitely Frestro, probably everyone is going to want to craft, and I would say Smokey as well, because he's using all the Primal Lord team. So Frestro, Smokey, those are probably the priority crafts, as you can see here. Ludovic, yeah, eventually he will be a priority craft, but like, it's just going to be a stat boost for him. So like, VN server is a much bigger priority for the skill power, but for global server, you can get it with time, right? But still, looking at the top row, we have a lot of support heroes: Rainier, Ludovic, Smokey, Hugin, Twins, and so sweeping the support treasure is going to be the optimal choice if that is available. Otherwise, I would recommend sweeping like the rogue treasure, because Sinbad and Sonya are both. Oh well, Sonya's a warrior, but Sinbad is in the rogue tier. Then we have Iron as well in the tier below. Mages can be good mainly for AFK stages, but also some Dream Realm use for the Talion and the Bonnie, so that is another thing to consider. Basically, tanks are not that useful other than Fresto, and so I would just craft Fresto charms and probably not sweep tank. That is basically my strategy. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. If you disagree with the placement of any hero here, please feel free to leave a comment and explain your reasoning. I'm sure that can help other people out as well. But thank you guys for watching. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Let's hit it before the end of the season. But I hope this was helpful. Good luck with your charm crafting, your sweeping tomorrow, and getting even a higher score for Dream Realm and for Primal Lord. But if you guys want to chat with me more, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There'll be a link to that in the description of this video. But thank you guys for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.